بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين. Again, a reminder, say Ameen as much as we can, inshallah. Try to remember some of the things for our own du'as, and also think of our own sins when we're listening to this. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم إني أستغفرك لكل ذنب استخفيت به في ضوء النهار عن عبادك وبارزتك به في ظلمة الليل جراءة مني عليك، على أني أعلم أن السر عندك علانية وأن الخفية عندك بارزة، وأنه لا يمنعني منك مانع ولا ينفعني عندك نافع من مال وبنين إلا أن أتيتك بقلب سليم. Ameen. O Allah, I seek your forgiveness for every sin in doing which I concealed myself from your servants in the light of the day, but openly and daringly opposed you by committing in the darkness of the night. This I did despite knowing that secrets are open to you, and that the hidden is exposed to you, and that nothing can protect me from your punishment, nor can anything, neither my wealth or my children, avail me before you, except that I come to you with a sound heart. Allahumma inni astaghfiruka likulli dhanbin yurithu an-nisyana lidhikrik أو يعقب الغفلة عن تحذيرك ويتمادى بي إلى الأمن من مكرك أو يؤيسني من خير ما عندك. Ameen. O Allah, I seek your forgiveness for every sin that causes forgetfulness of your remembrance, or that brings in its wake heedlessness of your warning, and drives me to senselessly feel safe from your devising, or that causes me to despair of the good reward you possess. Ameen. اللهم إني أستغفرك لكل ذنب لحقني بسبب عتبي عليك في إحباس الرزق علي وشكايتي منك وإعراضي عنك وميلي إلى عبادك بالاستكانة لهم والتضرع إليهم، وقد أسمعتني قولك في محكم كتابك فما استكانوا لربهم وما يتضرعون. Ameen. O Allah, I seek your forgiveness for every sin that overtook me, because I disrespectfully complained and objected to you for withholding your subsistence from me, and because I turned away from you and inclined instead towards your powerless servants in submissiveness and earnest petition, whereas you had let me hear your clear statement in your book, but they humbled not themselves to their Lord, nor did they submissively entreat him. Ameen. اللهم إني أستغفرك لكل ذنب لزمني بسبب كربة استغثت عندها بغيرك أو واستعنت عليها بسواك واستمددت بأحد فيها دونك. Ameen. O Allah, I seek your forgiveness for every sin that remained with me because when anxiety struck, I sought aid, succor, and support from someone besides you. اللهم إني أستغفرك لكل ذنب حملني عليه الخوف من غيرك ودعاني إلى التضرع لأحد من خلقك أو استمالني إلى الطمع فيما عند غيرك فآثرت طاعته في معصيتك استجلابا لما في يديه وأنا أعلم بحاجتي إليك كما لا غنى لي عنك. O Allah, I seek your forgiveness for every sin to which fear of someone besides you drove me, and it, meaning the fear, called me to earnestly entreat one of your creation, or inclined me to yearn for what others beside you possessed. So I preferred to obey them and disobey you in order to lay hand on what they had, though I was aware that I am in need of you and that I am never free and independent of your support. Ameen. Allahumma inni astaghfiruka likulli dhanbin مثلت لي نفسي استقلاله وصورت لي استصغاره وقللته حتى ورطتني فيه. Ameen. O Allah, I seek your forgiveness for every sin that my soul made seem to me trivial and small, and continued to make seem insignificant until it finally entangled me in it. اللهم إني أستغفرك لكل ذنب جرى به قلمك وأحاط به علمك في وعلي إلى آخر عمري، ولجميع ذنوبي كلها أولها وآخرها، عمدها وخطئها قليلها وكثيرها، صغيرها وكبيرها، دقيقها وجليلها، قديمها وحديثها، سرها وجهرها وعلانيتها، ولما أنا مذنب في جميع أمري. Ameen. O Allah, I seek your forgiveness for every sin that your pen recorded and your knowledge encompassed, every one that I have committed and that I am to commit until the end of my life. I seek your forgiveness for all of my sins, the first and the last, the intentional and the unintentional, the few and the many, the minor and the major, the subtle and the noticeable, the past and the recent, the secret and the open and public, and all those that I am commit throughout my life. Ameen. اللهم إني أستغفرك لكل ذنب لي وأسألك أن تغفر لي ما أحصيت علي من مظالم العبد قبلي فإن لعبادك علي حقوقا ومظالم وأنا بها مرتهن. اللهم وإن كانت كثيرة فإنها من جنب عفوك يسيرة. اللهم أيما عبد من عبادك أو أمة من إمائك كانت له مظلمة عندي قد غضبته عليها في أرضه أو ماله أو عرضه أو بدنه أو غاب أو حضر هو أو خصمه يطالبني بها ولم أستطيع أن أردها إليه ولم أستحللها منه، فأسألك بكرمك وجودك وسعة ما عندك أن ترضيهم عني ولا تجعل لهم علي شيئا منقصة من حسناتي، فإن عندك ما يرضيهم عني وليس عندي ما يرضيهم، ولا تجعل يوم القيامة لسيئاتهم على حسناتي سبيلا. Ameen. O Allah, I seek your forgiveness for every sin of mine. I ask you to forgive me all the injustices against your servants that you have enumerated against me. For your servants have against me many claims of violated rights and injustices to which I am held captive. O Allah, even if these evil deeds of mine are many in number, they are paltry, meaning they are very small, they are nothing. They are paltry few in sight of your forgiveness. O Allah, any male or female servant of yours who has against me a claim of injustice, that I forcibly seized from him something of his land or wealth or honor or body, whether he was absent or present, or whether he or his representatives demanded from me compensation for it, but neither was I able to return it to him, nor did I seek to be pardoned for it. I ask that you, with your benevolence, generosity, and abundant treasures, satisfy them on my behalf, and do not give them over me power to take away and decrease my good deeds. For indeed you possess what can satisfy them on my behalf, and I do not. And do not make a way for their bad deeds to overcome my good deeds on the day of judgment. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. So this is in light of the hadith that whoever has any kind of oppression against his brother or her sister, this person should get rid of it today, before the day comes when the currency will be our deeds. If a person has something that they have done against someone else, their deeds will be given to them. And if they don't have any good deeds, then that person's bad deeds will be put upon this person. So this was the 70 istighfarat, and then there's a few concluding prayers, the last prayers. So concluding prayers. Astaghfirullah alladhi la ilaha illa huwa al-hayy al-qayyum wa atubu ilayh. Istighfaran yazidu fi kulli tarfati ayn wa tahrikati nafsin 100,000 ضعف يدوم مع دوام الله ويبقى مع بقاء الله الذي لا فناء ولا زوال وانتقال لملكه أبد الآبدين ودهر الداهرين سرمدا في سرمد استجب بالله. I seek forgiveness from Allah, beside whom there is nothing worthy of worship, the living, the self-subsisting sustainer of all creation. And I turn to Him seeking forgiveness that increases 100 million times with every blink of an eye and with every breath, that remains as long as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala remains, and lasts as long as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala lasts. For His dominion will never, for all of eternity, come to an end, cease or die away. O Allah, accept this prayer. O Allah, make mine a prayer that meets with Your acceptance and a request that meets with Your blessing. Indeed, You have power over all things. Allahumma ja'al du'a'an wafaqa ijabatan wa mas'alatan wafaqat minka 'atiyya innaka 'ala kulli shay'in qadir. We already gave the translation for that. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ali Sayyidina Muhammad wa sahbihi wa sallim tasliman kathira salatan da'imatan bidawamik باقية ببقائك لا منتهى لها دون علمك صلاة ترضيك وترضيه وترضى بها عنا يا رب العالمين وسلم كذلك والحمد لله على ذلك سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. O Allah, send blessings on our Master Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and upon the family of our Master Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and upon his companions, and grant them abundant peace. Grant them abundant blessings and peace that remain as long as You remain, and last as long as You last, that have bounds only You can know, blessings that please You and Him, and by which You are pleased with us, O Lord of all the worlds. And for this, all praise is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Glory to You, Lord, the Lord of all eminence, who is far above what they claim, and peace be upon all the messengers, and all praise is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Lord and cherisher of the world. And finally, Allama Qutbuddin, who narrated this with his chain of his sanad to Hasan al-Basri rahimahullah, he writes, he says, "Here end the prayers of forgiveness that save from the hellfire, attributed to Hasan al-Basri rahimahullah. I have quoted them from numerous editions. I also came across one edition of these prayers, at the beginning of which was mentioned that they had been related from our master, the leader of the faithful, Ali ibn Abi Talib, karramallahu wajhah, and that he would recite them in the latter part of each night. It has been related that the latter part of the night until the rise of the dawn is the most superior time for invoking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for forgiveness. Also, in many narrations it is mentioned that the most complete formula for seeking forgiveness is to do so 70 times. I ask from all the believers who come across these prayers and benefit from them, that they do not forget me in their good prayers, and that they seek forgiveness for me." So again, this is Allama Qutbuddin. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward him and Allama Hasan al-Basri rahimahullah on our behalf and in behalf of the Ummah. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. The translator and publisher request the same. We hope from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He forgive us all. So the book has finished, inshallah. Alhamdulillah bi ni'matihi tatimmu salihat. All praise is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with whose favor good deeds come to an end. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from us.